From far-off destinations across the quarter racing map, horses have come to Los Alamitos for the Bank of America Challenge Championships. It's one night of racing featuring qualifiers from all 5 divisions. Stakes winners are heading to each of the finals. Graded winners are in some, and it promises to be an outstanding night of racing. Championships night is November 17th. We'll preview it next.
Celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Bank of America Racing Challenge. This is the AQHA Racing Challenge Update, powered by American Quarter Horse Association.
Hello and welcome to our special championships preview edition of the AQHA Racing Challenge Update. I'm Jim Byers. Raceview Network has come to this year's host track, Los Alamitos, to preview the top contenders in each of the 5 graded division finals. The longtime and legendary voice of Los Alamitos, Ed Burgart, will be along for his analysis as well. Horses earn their right to this by winning or finishing prominently in regional challenges conducted across 4 countries dating back to the spring. Now, as we do this, we do not know the final fields or post position, but as we close in on the November 17th championships night, we do know who's pointing for the race and the ones to beat. We'll tell you about those as we move along. Let's start with fillies and mares 3 and up in the Distaff Championship, a Grade 1 at 400 yards. One Sweet Racing enters the Distaff with strong credentials and a resume that includes a win over the track in the August 12th Los Alamitos Distaff Challenge. She also ran second in September in the Grade 1 Mildred Vessel's Memorial Handicap. Even her name evokes memories of a great race mare. Her dam, Miss Racy Vike, won graded stakes at 4 tracks in the 90s, including scores at Los Alamitos and Remington Park. Trained by Christopher Odell, One Sweet Racing enters with more than $324,000 in career earnings, including a big payday for running second behind BOA championship hopeful Hold Air Hostage in last year's All-American Derby. Odell said his filly probably wishes she didn't have to wait for November 17th.
Well, you know, with a mare like this, I guess my job is to keep her 100% ready. It's hard to do that all the time, but she's such an easy mare to train. I pony her a lot and just keep her fresh and happy. And in fact, I ponied her this morning, and she was bucking and kicking and playing. And that's all we can do is just try to keep her happy. I think she's coming into this thing just right. We can't wait. In fact, she wishes the race was tomorrow.
A winner in half of her 24 career starts. Duck Dash and Go comes into the big night in good form. The Oklahoma-bred member of the Monte Rosa barn has 3 wins in 2018, including a Grade 3 tally in the Independence Day Handicap, and followed by running a close second in Allowance Company late last month. Corona Springs raced her way into the Distaff Championship with a determined victory on July 4th in the Canterbury Park Challenge. For this Jason Olmsted trainee, qualifying for a challenge final capped a lengthy journey that saw her try unsuccessfully to make the Juvenile final 2 years ago, and both the Derby and Distaff last year. The Utah-bred half-sister to stakes winner Aqua Flash, Corona Springs comes into the Distaff off consecutive tries against graded rivals at Prairie Meadows. One Sweet Racy seems to have the home track and class edge over her rivals. But now, let's bring on Ed Burgart. Welcome him into the AQHA Racing Challenge Update and get his thoughts on the Distaff. Ed?
Well, thanks, Jim. Certainly One Sweet Racy is the horse to beat. Ran second in the All-American Derby last year and has shown her class over this track. Loved her second-place finish in the Mildred Vessel's Memorial Handicap last time out. Just Raven, who won that race. Multiple stakes winners qualified for the Champion of Champions, and One Sweet Racy convincingly won her prior race to qualify for the Challenge Finals here. I think the horse she might have to beat, though, One Hot Habit. Finished out strongly, went second in that Distaff Challenge California race. So if anybody could maybe upset One Sweet Racy, I would think it's One Hot Habit, but certainly One Sweet Racy, the horse to beat. Should probably be the shortest price favorite in all of the 5 challenge races here on Bank of America Challenge Championship night. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Ed. The Distaff has not been around for the entire 25-year run of the Racing Challenge. It was first contested in the year 2000, and that year, the great Cool Q Baby was the first winner. The John Deere Juvenile Challenge, however, has been an every-year fixture of the Racing Challenge series. And the cast for this year's Grade 2 350-yard final features some strong local contenders. One of the locally based hopefuls is a summer addition to the Paul Jones barn, Just Send It. This well-bred filly was the top qualifier and odds-on favorite in the Wild West Futurity, but cost herself all chance with a poor start. A qualifier from Sandy Downs, Just Send It has a score to settle in the John Deere Juvenile.
Well, this filly, she's really got a lot of talent. Anytime a horse comes to California and comes to Los Alamitos, having a race over the track, it means a lot. She's had a few outs over this racetrack, so we're really looking forward to this race for her.
The Los Alamitos Regional was taken stylishly by the Jones-trained Coleman 47, but this Grade 2 PCQHRA Breeders' Futurity winner is likely to go instead in trials for the Los Alamitos 2 Million. In that case, the John Deere Juvenile would become much more wide open. Among those in Coleman 47's wake in the Los Alamitos Challenge was KR High Five. Trained by Jaime Gomez, this Colorado bred ran fourth that night, but followed with a 3-race winning streak, the culmination being a half-length win in the Wild West Futurity at Los Alamitos in late October. KR High Five has not only been winning, but improving his speed indexes, and comes into the John Deere Juvenile in his best form to date. Ed Burgart has had the best view of some of the top contenders in this division. His thoughts on the John Deere Juvenile.
Well, thanks, Jim. The John Deere Juvenile Challenge Championship. I got to think that Paul Jones has been looking forward to this race ever since Just Sent It, who was the big favorite in the Wild West Futurity. Broke about 2 lengths slow and never had a chance to lift the legs after that, but Just Sent It, super impressive in the prior trial win when easily posting the fastest qualifying time. The horse to beat, though, KR High Five, who came back and won the Wild West Futurity and has now reeled off 3 consecutive wins here at Los Alamitos. But remember, Just Sent It was the big favorite against KR High Five. Didn't break, but broke super the prior 2 times. So I think the tables can be turned here. I'm looking for Just Send It to be able to beat KR High Five here in the John Deere Juvenile Challenge Championship.
Still to come, previews and Ed Burgart's analysis of the remaining 3 divisions in the Bank of America Racing Challenge Series.
Press on the outside third. It's Juno's request.
Keller Fit is pulling away late, and Keller Fit was second to none tonight.
What will happen next? The Bank of America Racing Challenge returns to Los Alamitos Racecourse on Saturday, November 17th. It's a night of quarter-horse stakes racing action, full fields, and big stars. Visit losalamitos.com for more.
The Grade 1 Cox Ranch Distance Championship is one of 3 races in this series that a horse could potentially win multiple years in a row. It's not an age-restricted race like the Derby or Juvenile. Last year's winner will not be back this year, but Rare Ed, victorious in 2016 right here at Los Alamitos, is back for a repeat try, and in the race he's likely to take on a regular rival in Mickey Ward. They last met at Turf Paradise in April, in that track's distance challenge, when Rare Ed tagged Mickey Ward at the wire. Rare Ed rallied from the outside post that day. 2 years ago, he used front-running tactics from the rail in the 2016 Distance Championship at Los Alamitos. Rare Ed also took part in last year's championship at Prairie Meadows, checking in third. Mickey Ward hails from Arizona and won the Turf Paradise Distance Challenge 3 straight years, until his narrow defeat in April. He's made most of his starts over the past 3 seasons at Los Alamitos, though, and has 2 allowance victories over the local track. An X-factor in this division is Mahoney and Tackleberry. He won a trial for the Downs at Albuquerque Distance Challenge before running a good second in the final. If he goes at Los Alamitos, it will be his first start outside New Mexico or the Idaho, Utah, Wyoming region. A fascinating story in this year's BOA Championships is Glittering Blue. He's 10 years old, with 19 wins from 58 starts, but he's never raced outside his home province of Alberta. He earned his first trip to the States with a cruising performance in the Evergreen Park Distance Challenge in late August. He's been remarkably consistent throughout his lengthy career for various trainers, most recently being trained by Alvin Crosschild. The distance division often features veterans with lots of racing history. But in a sport where fortunes are made at the age of 2, the Derby division for 3-year-olds can also produce runners with proven ability. This year's Grade 3 400-yard Adequan Derby could feature up to 3 regional challenge winners and plenty of stakes horses. When Mi Amor Secreto came from behind to win the Adequan Ruidoso Downs Derby Challenge in June, little did we know the field could generate up to 5 entrants for the upcoming division championship. Behind Mi Amor Secreto were possible final opponents Corona Ranger, SC Vapor Trail, Walcott, and Bolero. Trained by Marcos Carrizales, the Texas-bred Mi Amor Secreto followed the challenge win by qualifying for the first down dash, the consolation to the All-American Derby, where he ran 6th. After running 4th in that Ruidoso challenge, Walcott has not lost in 4 races since. He took both a trial and final of the Mile High Derby at Arapahoe and the Altoona Derby at Prairie Meadows. A winner of 5 of 9 trips to the post, this Oklahoma bred has never been in better form for trainer Alejandro Chavez. A qualifier from the Pacific Northwest is Favorite Bling. Originally based at Los Alamitos and now back in Orange County with a different trainer in Jaime Gomez, this Oregon bred qualified with a fast win in the Adequan Sundowns Derby Challenge at Washington State. She then rallied for a respectable 3rd in the BOA Emerald Downs Championship Challenge. Favorite Bling prepped for this with a runner-up finish in Allowance Company at Los Al in late October.
Painted Dynasty has the lead. High Valley Girl is in contention, but here is Painted Dynasty.
From the Midwestern base of trainer Jason Olmstead comes Painted Dynasty. This Oklahoma-bred filly has raced exclusively in Minnesota, Iowa, and Oklahoma, but is 5 for 10 this year and a frequent stakes competitor. This might be one of the more wide-open finals. Let's see if Ed Burgart sees it that way.
Well, thanks, Jim. The Adequan Derby Challenge Championship here at Los Alamitos, I think it's going to be a 3-horse race. Mi Amor Secreto, Walcott, and the horse for the course is certainly SC Vapor Trail, who's won multiple times here at Los Alamitos. But after watching the race replay back at Rio Dosa Downs, I love the way Mi Amor Secreto is able to overcome trouble, blow away the opposition, faced much tougher company the next 2 times out, won a trial for the All-American Derby, but did not run fast enough to qualify, so certainly class is in the corner of Mi Amor Secreto. The horse who finished behind Mi Amor Secreto, Walcott's come back to win 4 consecutive races. That's the horse I fear most, and of course SC Vapor Trail, as I mentioned, likes Los Alamitos and definitely has to be considered. My selection, though, Jim, Mi Amor Secreto.
The Adequan Derby Championship has an interesting history, with some of its most famous winners coming in the early years. Names like Taylor Fit, Mars Blackman, Dash and By, and Royal Down Dash. Another race with a rich history is the Bank of America Challenge Championship. We'll take a look at it next.
Press on the outside 3rd. It's Juno's request.
Taylor Fit is pulling away late, and Taylor Fit was 2nd about tonight.
What will happen next? The Bank of America Racing Challenge returns to Los Alamitos Racecourse on Saturday, November 17th. It's a night of quarter-horse stakes racing action, full fields, and big stars. Visit losalamitos.com for more.
Over the previous 25 runnings of the Bank of America Challenge Championship, the winners have ranged from flashy fillies to gritty handicap veterans to AQHA world champions like Streakin' Sintacha, Taylor Fit, Down with Debt, and SLM Big Daddy. This year's edition, Grade 1, 440 yards for 3-year-olds and up, features an AQHA Supreme Racehorse, the reigning 3-year-old champion, and an interesting horse from Brazil. The clear star of the show is AQHA Supreme Racehorse B.H. Lisa's Boy. Bred, owned, and trained by Bill Hoberg, he's won a Grade 1 each of the last 2 years at Los Alamitos, this year taking the Brad McKenzie Winter Championship. A breathtaking, narrow winner over Hold Air Hostage in the BOA Los Alamitos Championship Challenge. B.H. Lisa's Boy followed with a troubled start and an 8th place finish in the Robert L. Boniface Los Alamitos Invitational. It was the worst finish in his brilliant 34-race career, during which he's won 19 times. The Idaho bred will seek his first win in the BOA Championship.
I'm real happy with him. I hate to wish my life away, but I'd just soon run, last weekend. With him, he's ready to go. We just got to keep him in a holding pattern.
Hold Air Hostage is developing a rivalry of sorts with B.H. Lisa's Boy. Trained in California by Jaime Gomez, the reigning 3-year-old champion is a multiple Grade 1 winner. Since arriving from his native Oklahoma, Hold Air Hostage demonstrated his trademark high speed in 2 starts before an uncharacteristic 5th in the Boniface. Boosted by wins in the rich Rainbow and All-American Derbies, Hold Air Hostage has career earnings of more than $1.3 million from 9 wins and 16 tries. In late August, Corona Be Gone stepped in against older rivals and took home the BOA Emerald Downs Championship Challenge, primarily based in the Northwest. This Oregon bred has traveled south for trainer Hector Magallanes and become adjusted to Southern California with a pair of tries and non-graded handicaps at Los Alamitos. He most recently ran third in the Joe Ward handicap, only beaten by 2 necks. From Brazil is Corona Jumpim MRL. His connections took his challenge victory at the Jockey Club de Sorocaba seriously by shipping this 4-year-old to Los Alamitos early. His first 2 U.S. starts have been a pair of allowance races, with his best finish a second in late October. Now in the barn of trainer Paul Jones, who received another Brazilian, Jake Gold BR, for the 2015 championship. He said that gave him insight into dealing with Corona Jumpim MRL.
Typically, it takes the horses from Brazil a little while to acclimate and to get used to running at night and to get used to not running in lanes. And it's a whole different way of running. And the trip here for them is difficult. You know, it's a long trip here, and they usually fly to Florida and Florida to LA and quarantines and everything. And it just kind of throws their system off. It's a little different climate, a little different track. Everything is just kind of new to them. So it takes them a while to adjust. But I think this horse is adjusting well now.
13-time winner Coady's Easy Moves hails from trainer Mania Rosa's barn, an outfit familiar with winning stakes at Los Alamitos. Last year's First Down Dash winner comes in off a 4th-place finish in the Boniface Los Al Invitational, hitting the wire before Hold Air Hostage and B.H. Lisa's Boy. That partially avenged a close defeat in the BOA Los Alamitos Championship Challenge.
I think it's going to be a great race. It's a classy field of older horses, and I'm excited to be in there. Our horse is training really well. I think he'll run a good race in there, but we're going to need a lot of luck.
The Bank of America Challenge Championship is the marquee attraction. So one final time, let's go to the man who's been here for all 11 previous editions of the race at Los Alamitos, Ed Burgart.
Well, thank you, Jim. I think this year's Bank of America Challenge Championship is certainly going to be one of the best races we've had here in several years. Of course, the premier name going into the meet was Hold Air Hostage, won last year's All-American Derby, and was the champion 3-year-old. However, since coming to California, Hold Air Hostage has not repeated that 2017 form. Because of that, I think that B.H. Lisa's Boy is certainly going to be the horse to beat, along with Coady's Easy Moves. B.H. Lisa's Boy is a multiple Grade 1 winner here at Los Alamitos. Didn't get the best of starts in the Los Alamitos Championship out of post position number 2. I look for B.H. Lisa's Boy to be able to make amends, being that the horse has run so well over this track. And of course, Coady's Easy Moves hardly ever runs a bad race, and certainly the one I think that B.H. Lisa's Boy will have to beat. So B.H. Lisa's Boy will be my selection to win the Bank of America Challenge Championship. Back to you, Jim.
Thanks, Ed. B.H. Lisa's Boy will try to add to his impressive list of major wins. Hold Air Hostage will try to get back to his speedy ways, and who knows, we could even have an upset of major proportions. It'll all take place on November 17th. We'll be here for full coverage, and then afterward we'll wrap it all up on our final show of the season. That's all for now. I'm Jim Byers. Thanks for watching. Please look for us next time here on the AQHA Racing Challenge Update.